Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
Right.
And the other thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one I don't know.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now Manchester United are
Welcome everyone, welcome fellas, and welcome to All In, All United. Simeon, Chef, the last time we had a pod, we left on a high, and we thought it would have been, some kind of kickstart, some restart. We always hope that after we get a good result, it'll kick us on to want to do better, to see what it would take for us to do better. And all them kind of, cliches now, but after today, I could only sit down and conclude that the reason why we didn't lose was because Brentford didn't want to win. Right? The amount of chances them throw away. They did not want to win today, and that was our saving grace. Because we were unbelievably lucky to leave there with 1 point. Another disgraceful performance, and it's not the first time either all year. We devoid of ideas. We lacking any kind of quality. Heads dropping. Again, we see this before. And I don't think, fellas, that this is the last time that we're going to see these kind of abysmal performances this season. Right? And I do not think that we're not going to sit here and have podcasts like these where we had to listen to Ten Hag talk rubbish after these kind of nonsense performances. There has been no progress, fellas. Prove me wrong. There has been no progress under Ten Hag. I dare Simeon, I dare Nico, or in the comments, when Nico jump on, Chef, I dare you. Show me where there has been progress under Ten Hag. Anyway, what is saying?
I mean, I can't argue with you, Kareem. I was watching the game.
Simeon, you're singing a little bit muffled. I don't know why. You're singing a little bit muffled. I'm not hearing you clear.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. No, I mean, like, one stat I heard in the game, well, I don't see the game, I was listening, I'm lucky. I didn't see the game live. I got all at halftime, and what it was something so familiar. I've been through it before, and the comment the announcer say last year when we played this team, we lost, was it 4-1 or 4-0? We lost it. I say yeah. I mean that's all we need to know. Since that point, we got more different players, we got more players, but a lot of issues remain the same, and what bugs me is it's the same thing. Our team can't defend that cutback cross. I mean, forget style of plays, but you can't be beaten by the same type of goals game in, game out. They could do a cutback cross, and every center back, every midfielder, on right next to Onana. We ain't fixing the issues. So Kareem, I can argue with you.
What are you saying, Chef?
I'll take off my glasses. Yo, I was so, after the last game, I was looking forward. I said, let me see what this team could really do to finish off the season.
Let me see if we can at least build on some kind of good, somewhat good performance against Liverpool. And today, between the manager and the players, today was just abject shit. Yo, what is that? I don't. You're maybe between y'all here and people outside, or you can explain it to me because I just don't get it. Because I mean, I say I've played a lot of football in my life. I've been around football all my life. I don't get how a team could be so inconsistent. I just don't understand it. Maybe you all could understand it. I just don't get it. And the thing about it is, well, let me watch those relegation teams. Them not even that inconsistent. It's either the shit or the good. But we just, I don't understand it. I just, and as Simeon said, we could go through so much things that's wrong with this team. But let me deal with that simple thing. That cutback is years now we getting goals like that. Years. So I had to agree with you. Let me stop trying to paper the shit now. This team going nowhere under Ten Hag. None. It's the same. Ten Hag, I dare say, starting to look no better than Ole now. Because it's the same kind of counter-attacking football that we were saying that is all Ole had in the bag. It's the same type of waiting on a man to do something extraordinary to win a game. We can't compose ourselves, take our time, pass the ball, hold possession. Dog is Brentford we play. Brentford.
Boy, chef. I watching this game. I went back watching this game. I try and take notes. Like Brentford will attack, and they will almost score, hit the bar with some nonsense. The ball will go out of play. I'll grab my pen. I'll start taking notes. By the time I look up, we lose the ball again. Brentford attack.
Yeah.
It's that fast. I
Yeah.
mean, it's that fast. We get the ball back, kick off, and then it's that fast. And over and over again. I don't care if it's Bruno or Rashford, whoever. Just give the ball away. How you can have players that can't keep the ball? I don't care what kind of style you're playing. You can't. I mean, you can't. And this is why you might say our players get injured and all this nonsense is all kind of But you as a defender, you can't defend for 3, 4, 5 minutes intensely, get the ball back, and 5, 10 seconds later you back under pressure again. It's not possible to keep that kind of intensity up. We need at some point for it to hold on to the ball. And you look at the I was making this analogy, like the money spent, like you hear about all the money spent on this team. It's kind of like you give your wife some money to go to the grocery store to make to get groceries for the week, and every time you come home for dinner, it's chicken foot soup, and you wonder like, boy, what where all your money going? It's like every time you come to watch this team. After all the thing you put into this team and all the money you spend and they still can deliver a good performance. It's just like where all the money go? Like really, where all the money gone? You put that menu.
Them Kobe does, and this is something everyone on the panel we saw how good this youth could have been. And to have him in a team like that, then he must want to leave because all you're going to kill him out. We could start talking about all kind of things, but the number one thing I find, let me be real now, the experiment with Scott done. That it can't work, dog.
It now
It
done,
cannot
chef. That
work.
thing done before it didn't even start.
It cannot work. Yes, he go pop up off and on, but are we really sitting here and saying that this is what we would build on? that every now and again he will pop up. As I think it was Reem, you had said it when he had scored, that he will score one or two games and then go about 20 without a next goal, or even an assist, or even some kind of meaningful contribution. Like, let me be real. I don't want men to say that I pick it, but what did Scott McTominay do for the entire game?
Nothing. Nothing.
That can't be it, Dread. That can't be it. I
Man
watched
on the
10
wrong.
Hag subs. And let me be real. The common sense behind some of these subs and them done. So you say you're going for it. So you took off Mino. Who was the two subs? Was Mino and somebody?
And
Rashford
Rashford. Yeah.
to bring on Casimiro and who it was?
Mount.
Anthony Mount. Right. Done. I sorry. Kobe Mino had to remain on that field, you know. That you're a manager, don't manage.
Do we have any, do you have any
Huh?
games midweek? Any midweek games this week?
No. No.
Then why? Why take him off?
That's my point. That's my point. He's 18 years old and he fit. So don't even try to tell me is what was he thinking behind that? And he leaving on McTominay to do what?
We are Chelsea Thursday.
Oh, that's this week?
Yeah, Chelsea
You need so
Thursday.
much shit. Chelsea might end up beating me, and them is even more shit than me.
Let me get some comments here, fellas. All right. Phil on the inside. Phil, thanks for joining, man. He send the asteroid, send the Undertaker. This team is dead. All right. Alan Lewis on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying, I see that after a terrific performance last game against Liverpool, we're right back at the starting line. All right. I don't even think we're ready to run. All right. So that starting line,
Boy,
we even there.
he's still in the tunnel.
Yeah. Phil saying here once again, Kobe Meno playing in a midfield by himself because Scott turned Harry Houdini again. As for Bruno Fernandes, you are a disgrace and a pathetic excuse of a player and a captain. All right. He also saying here, Marcus Rashford, please leave this summer. You have given up on Man United. Your body language speaks volume of your attitude. All right. Kurt on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He said, I don't know what we saw today, but it was disastrous, the worst I've ever seen. Right, Alan also saying here, so as we get the goal, we couldn't defend for at least 3 minutes till the game done. That can't be a Ten Hag problem. That is basic football tactics. Right,
But can I answer that one?
go through.
We got that goal against the whole. Let's be real. We got that goal against the whole runner play. That was Obia that we was able to score. So really and truly, we didn't deserve that goal, but we get it. So it was no surprise that what the name score back because they play all the football. The Jess was masterfully unlucky today.
Yeah. Kurt saying here, is every time we go on an international break, United just come back looking lethargic. Here we did, and you know, Ten Hag made this comment as well, right? And I have a problem because why?
Bullshit. If you
Yeah,
like hate to hear that,
So Brentford didn't have players on international duty.
Don't
Aston Villa didn't have players on international duty. Spurs didn't have players on international duty. So why you making an excuse for that?
guys are terrible excuse.
You shouldn't, as a manager, you shouldn't even make that statement. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's not only your team that send players out there on international duty. You understand what I'm saying? You are the only team that had 2 days to work with your team when they came back from international duty. As a matter of fact, you had the last game on the match day today. You understand what I'm saying? Teams would have played since 8 o'clock this morning. Well, TT time, right? You play 4 o'clock. And you still making excuses about international duty while other teams playing proper football and beating people? Come on, man, Ten Hag, man. Save mother rubbish now, man.
Yeah, I mean, because we can't act like that's the only time we play shit. We played
Thank
rubbish.
you.
All one game rubbish, one game trash, one game Okay. I mean, we've been doing this all season, so you can't come back and say, "Oh gosh, blame it national break." No.
That's like that. You see that? I swear that's they said that in the football group in the Manchester group today. And I blow a top because I just find that's a cop out. That is just looking for excuses. That is giving them and that is feeding into shit.
Yeah,
So we see only team are internationals.
exactly.
I watch every
Exactly.
game that played today. And not one of them teams, as a matter of fact, every one of them teams had full internationals and nobody looked lethargic. Even the teams that was losing, they get beat. It had no 10 years professional footballers. That shit
Correct.
dog. Stop telling me that.
Correct. Correct. Um, don't forget to like and share the podcast, guys. Thanks again. Um, right. Phil saying here every time Man United players step onto the pitch, it's like they're now meeting each other for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah. Kurt saying here, I'm surprised we had 45% possession. Yeah. Boy, Marcus got me so judgment vexed today. How you could be trotting or jogging back and three players free. You're not even tracking back on. Darren on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Why it's so hard to stay consistent in a game? We were dominating the first 50. You find you were dominating that game, by? Can't blame Ten Hag. Them fellas don't know how to control a game. They know break up a pressure with a good skill. Pass it off and men losing it. Yeah, I remember that play. I remember that play. Phil saying here, I go say it again. I have given up on Rashford. He needs to go. Rashford's behavior portrays that of a player that does not want to be there. Please go. Please go.
Well,
All right, and
let
with
me,
that appeal.
yeah. I
Right
mean,
to me.
like this whole, you know, possession thing, like the games where we've played, like the games where we play like City and Liverpool, the games where we've changed our formation or changed the way we play to deal with teams that are playing better than us. And like because it's Brentford and I feel like what's wrong with putting another midfielder in there just to
Yeah.
show up, the possession. Like what's wrong with changing your formation? Like what's wrong with that? Why can't you do it? I mean, like you can't play every game where you counter attacking and you're pressing and teams breaking your press. And as soon as they break your press, they on your back four like nothing. You can't keep doing that. Like you can't give up what? What's the shot the 31 to 11 shots we gave up? 31 shots, the most in the Premier League. You can't. I mean, this happens. This is our mo. Like he knows that he should know this, and he should know he can't keep doing it. But the way he sets up purposefully, like allows this to happen. Like your press ain't really working. I mean, and the fact that he continues with this same tactic, even though it's not working, even going into the last, 90 minutes, in 90 minutes, you're just going to change player for player. But bring Mount on and try and put him on a wing instead of in the midfield. Like, I mean, I just like it's like you're trying the same thing over and over, expect something different. It's the same players you're using, and even a lot of times it's your backup players, but even with your chosen midfielders, this problem still happens, but you still insist on doing it, and you're surprised, with the results. So I don't know.
Then only realize Manchester is the old Manchester. First thing first, we are so easy to set up against. We are predictable. You only realize we don't play no football in the center of the pitch at all. From the time we get the ball, we passing it wide. And so that men in the wide, and then we waited for them to do something. So it's either if they're in the mood, they might run at the defense, or they might play the ball back, and then the defense now will have to try. The defenders is our playmakers. If I watch for most of the, let's deal with the first half. Is Varane was making all the passes. Is Varane Onana was making all the passes. So it have no center midfield. The only time it seems we just play the center of the park is when we defending, when the other team coming at us. So
Yeah.
we're not able to hold on to our ball in tight spaces and make passes. The only person willing to receive that ball in the center and turn and go forward is Kobe Mino.
And Chef,
Bru-
to your
Bruno,
point, to your point there, like
They always mark Menu, and they always have somebody on Menu.
yeah,
And like the defenders, they see that and they pass it somewhere else, and
yeah.
that's the whole game. Go ahead, chef. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, but it's true. Bruno Fernandez, I know, I tell you, I really defend Bruno because Bruno is a player I like, eh? But Bruno decision making is what is and has been such trash. Today, if there was a play in particular, I swear on it, this man get me so mad. It was we actually was playing in the center of the field on a counter, dead center. I can't remember who was the man was making a run on his right hand. All Bruno had to do was play that ball forward for the man to run onto that ball. Bruno make a cross field pass to the left, and that was the end of the play. Brother man, you see captain dog. You see captain. Again, I want people because maybe I'm missing something. I want men out there and ladies explain to me because I just don't understand it. I don't understand. Like somebody say, we start off good and then we just go downhill. Maybe I'm missing something. So I want people tell me.
Yeah, yeah. And something I wanted to, I think Simeon had mentioned, so I just want to touch on it before I go back to the comments, right? This thing about this press that's, seemed to be this big revelation of Ten Hag philosophy, this high press. Now, earlier, what I see is rushing. If we have an organized press and we want to play, that kind of football, then it has to be organized. It has to be structured. It can't be Hoyland running and grafting, and then when Rashford decide he want to join in, and then Bruno leaving he position and leaving spaces open and then running down the place, and Garnacho deciding when he want to. That is why, fellas, it is so easy for defenses to play out of our press because we do not have a press.
It's
You know
not.
what I'm saying?
It's one man trying to cover, and it's so obvious. As you rightfully say, Reem, it's never if you're pressing. If it's a team press, then everybody coming forward and covering spaces. But it's never that. So it's easy if as you say, the center forward run, then a man just putting the ball wider into a
And yeah,
space.
exactly. And the thing about it is, for me, you have to know as the manager, if this is the style of football that you want to play, you have to make sure the profiles on the field are the right profiles. Because a high press game requires for players to be selfless and work hard. You're not getting that from Rashford, right? Let me be
Nope.
real, right? Hoyland, all right, you'll get some hard work from Hoyland. You'll get hard work. 'Cause genuine, he knew he wanted to impress. He go work hard for the team. Bruno, you're getting indiscipline in his press. Because part of the press is also making sure you don't leave empty and open spaces. So this is why I just have a problem with fans when they see men running hard and working hard, but they're not working smart. And
Yeah.
you running up and down, showing industry, but you're setting your team up in the back. And McTominay, not McTominay, and Kobe Mino getting skin out. You know what I'm saying? Because he have this whole set of real estate he had to cover on his own. And boop, 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 we defense under pressure. And this is what I trying to understand about this team and the profiles. If this is how you want to play football, then why is it you signing these kind of players? Or why is it you insisting on playing these kind of players? because they're not lending to the system that you want to play, and then we find ourselves sitting back under pressure, and all Bruno could do is launch balls for Rashford or Garnacho to run onto. So what you're really trying to play? What kind of football you want us to play? Are we going to play counter-attacking football, or are we going to play on the front foot? Because I have not seen front foot football, right? At least not at any consistent level to say, well, this is routine and this is drilled into the players. This is what them fellas working on every week, and I could see it on the pitch. I would see it for max 25 minutes every other 2, 3, or 4 games. I'm not seeing that consistently with this team, right? And I should have to sit down after a whole year and change trying to figure out what it is you doing with this team. We said that, all right, last season, every 3 days we had a game, so Ten Hag getting time to work on the pitch. Right? We try to accept the fact that, all right, we get knocked out from Europe. All right, so at least Ten Hag have a week on the pitch with the fellas. And it's like, it's worse. What is you doing? Why it is after since January, we 1 game a week for the most part. And up to now, I can see something that I could say, well, okay, right, so I've seen what happening here. Right? We talk about the first 25 minutes against Liverpool. Right? Why it is I'm not seeing half an hour today, and next game I'm seeing 40 minutes. Then the next game I'm seeing 45 minutes. Why it is I'm not seeing that? Why it is I can't question, fellas? Progress in this team. What is the problem?
And I don't
Why
know
we're
what
not
to
seeing progress? Now, let me go to the comments so I can have some time to think about it, right? I want to know in comments so I can jump in too, because I want to know why it is we're not seeing progress. Christian on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying, although we played horribly and it was a hard watch, I was very impressed with Ivan Toney. That fella have all the attributes we need up top. If I was Ivan Toney, I was staying far from here, buddy. Alright? Phil saying here, forgets open heart surgery. This team needed the damn asteroid, right? Send Bruce Willis, send Ben Affleck, send Armageddon. Alright? Kurt saying I was expecting Mount, Mino, and Bruno to rally and take off Scott. Ten Hag was ever sub off Scott by Kurt, by? Are they watching Ten Hag? Are they not watching Ten Hag football? Christian saying here, Ten Hag does real surprise me. We're literally getting overrun in midfield, and this man first sub was Garnacho. Garnacho was ineffective, but it was because we was getting overrun from the time we won the ball and we lost it back. We couldn't even string 2 passes properly. Like Anthony came on for Garnacho, and he and all was ineffective because he wasn't getting the ball back. All right.
I don't get it. That's actually a great point, Krista. Yeah. I don't get it. Everybody seeing that midfield getting over. That's like what Simeon say. They just play an extra man in midfield now, brother. Ericsson was fit today, right?
Yeah, Ericsson there. Ericsson could have played.
Okay, I just wonder. I just making sure I ain't going mad. Amrabat there too, right?
Too. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Kurt's in here, I said the international statement just to show how, that our manager is cow down, on cow down. Because, as let's say, everybody had players. Yeah, exactly. Eric Lewis on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying, exactly, Ten Hag is so stubborn. Game after game, we are playing with one holding midfielder.
Who does that? Who does that? No team plays with one midfielder. Everybody is either to play with 2 or there is 1 and a box to box.
Yeah.
Good God, boy.
Yeah,
you can't be that stubborn.
Yeah. Kurt's in here, every game is 4-2-3-1. And you're right, Simeon. This man don't know how to change to 4-3-3 or a 3-5-2 or a classic 4-4-2. And let's see the formation Brentford play today.
Let me tell you something. People can say what they want, but 4-4-2 is old school. I believe in that formation.
Yeah, and it has so much variations to how you can express the 4-4-2 to make it work. So, when you say 4-4-2, you ain't thinking about the traditional,
across the line. But then, boy, me and I tell you, Manchester was so lucky that they didn't get 4 again from this team.
But I'm telling you, we could have get beat up real bad horse.
when we scored, I see people start talking mad talk, and in my mind, I was saying, this is so unjust to Brentford. Eh?
Mm.
Thank God, it just wasn't right. And I will tell you something: if we had won that game, my mood would have been no different tonight. Eh?
Facts, exactly. I agree. Same thing. Same. Um, Phil saying here, when last Marcus Rashford dribbled past an opposing player?
In last week
Okay.
against Liverpool,
Um, Phil saying here, our most accurate creative player, emphasis on accurate, is Diego Dalot.
yeah,
Right? And I don't even think today he had a good game.
he did not
Right?
have a good game. He and Juan did not have a good game.
Yeah. Good saying here, it was Dalot overlapping on the right that play you talking about, Chef. Okay. All right. Eric saying
Right.
here, defenders are playing low block and forwards and mids are pressing. Make it make sense. Yeah. Phil saying here, I know the player you're talking about, Chef. It was Hoyland making the run on the right, but Captain Fantastic made a crossfield pass which allowed more time for opposing players to get back. Yeah. I remember that play. All right. Kurt saying here, the team that uses that full team press where everyone push was Leeds. Yeah, and they had to be fit
And
for
we
that
know where
too.
Leeds is. That's not a
Yeah.
full. That's madness. Leeds was doing.
Working hard means you're leaving most of your teammates exposed, but also you're just burning unnecessary energy, being unproductive. By 40 minutes, you're asking for Gatorade. By halftime, you need oxygen tank. Yeah, yeah. Work smart, not hard. Jeez, man. Yeah. Adrian Duncan on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. Good night to you.
Oh,
So,
Adrian.
fellas, on the panel comment section, I have a hard one for you, and I'm asking them, why are we not seeing progress in the team after so long? Why? Go through. Come to Republic Call this evening. Let me go.
I, I, I don't know. That is why I absolutely flabbergasted by this team. You know, that's why I say maybe I'm missing something. So I asked for the everybody out there to tell me because I thought I know football, but like I don't know nothing. Like I stupid. So maybe all you can tell me, because I am at lost for words. I don't know what to say again. Dan, I don't just watch, and I'm sure most of us see the same thing. I don't just watch Manchester games. Eh? I just watch everybody play. Simeon, you could tell me that any side as inconsistent as us? Don't not even Chelsea as bad.
No. Chelsea. No, we just I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea what we're doing. I think it's the color. Who said we stubborn? Is stubborn? Cannot stubborn. Like that's all I can see. Like it's just stubbornness. We keep doing the same thing. Trying the same thing, and like a game like today, where it's one thing to do a press, but a press works better when you have Martinez, have a ran back there, so you can
Yeah,
push high. So once you change that formula, and you have Maguire and Lindelof, who don't want to be as high, who know they can't get back, at least more space, between the front and the midfield. So once that happens, I mean, and Ten Hag has to know this. He has to see this. I mean, we all see it. It's okay to say, okay, well, we can't do what we did against, we can't play that high line, so let's do what we do against City. If you're gonna play counter attack football, play counter attack football. You know, you have Rashford, you have Canacho. Just every time they attack, just counter attack. It makes no sense leaving yourself wide open in the hopes of picking up a interception. I mean, because how many times did our press work? Like I know sometimes it works, now and then, but today it clearly
wasn't working.
wasn't effective. I mean, one pass and one two pass, and
And you're gone.
yeah, so
Man, somebody made a point about Ivan Tony and big to big. I respect. I rate Ivan Tony. Ivan Tony bad. But let me tell you something. Eh? Ivan Tony is only as good as the balls and them he does get it. And they just feed him it. They just feed him. I just don't get it. And this is why I say Manchester United is such a selfish team. Because at the end of the day, the point is to get the ball to your forward. Anybody else could score, you know, but generally it is to get the ball to your forward. That is why the forwards does be averaging 20 something, 30 something goals. Because let me be real, if you're giving them 10, 15 chances a game to score, chances are they will put away a few. But if we, Manchester United, want to give a man one ball a game for 80 minutes, what do we really expect? What?
Yeah.
I don't get it. That is a selfish. All our midfielders is want to do is try to see the name up in the limelight instead of making simple passes, pass into the channels for your forward to do something. And
Yeah, I
always
mean,
support him.
I'm like, like I keep going back to the type
Of wingers we recruit. We don't recruit the wingers who put the ball, who curve the
Who
ball
can
in
cross?
the wing.
They can't cross.
They
I mean,
can't. They
They
can't.
can. Well, they can, but they won't. Like that's not what their forte. That's not what they want to do.
That's not what. Yeah,
You
that's it. You're right there, Simeon. That's what. That's. It's not that they can't because they could actually. They actually could.
Yeah,
All of
Rashford.
them could.
Yeah,
Especially Mr. Rashford. If he
yeah,
want to give you a proper pass, he could. But you're right. They don't want to.
yeah. I mean, look at. Let me see. And poor Rasmus, like waiting for the ball, and like. But before, I mean, and it's like it's funny. I was watching a documentary and talking about how who was it? It was Berbatov talk about Nani. He
Yeah.
say, he say, I guess he get a ball and he passed to Nani, and he ran down the field afterwards because Nani is going to take like one or two or three step overs before he cross the ball. And I think our players, they every time they get the ball, the guy trying to cut one person, two persons, three persons. Like today, Rashford get the ball, and like you see three men just kind of color him. And that man see that dark alley. That man say, you know what? I'm gonna try and dribble through all three of them.
Over and over again.
And like it's okay to just pass the ball. It's okay.
That's okay, boy.
Yeah,
And the thing is that Simeon, as you rightfully say, obvious because we just thinking a little bit. If three men come into you, then it leaving two men free, boy. It
Yeah.
leaving men free. That's so hard. I
But
don't tell him. Sometimes he's get away with it, but Marcus is so easy to defend against. Once you have a thinking manager.
And what is still boggle my mind up today, and I will come back to the question, right? Is like and even look at the goal we scored today. Everything just looks so, like chaotic. It don't look, like it's slick. Our passing, everything looks so rushed and so chaotic. It don't look refined, and you expect for a team, at the level that we're supposed to be, because we just invest money, we spend 400 million on that kind of money, because you compare our budget to the likes of Brentford and other teams who would have played us off the park, who never even play a game in Europe. You would expect that our level will be where the kind of football that we playing, in attack, it looking so refined, but everything that we doing is be looking just so rushed. So, and I don't understand why our patterns, or if it have any kind of patterns in we play, right? It is always, it don't look smooth. You know what I'm saying? And I watching how Brentford moving the ball when they have the ball and it looking so refined. And I ask myself, we have more expensive players. We have a a team that has so much financial investment in it, so much trophies in the team, but yet nothing looking good. Nothing, and if we score, it's some kind of scrappy kind of goal. We look at the goal Mason Mount score. This one fall down, this one kick it so, and it bounce off that one, and he roughing up some defender, and Mount get a shot and score. I ain't taking nothing away from Mount, don't get me wrong, eh? You understand? Because it was a decent goal to score. But why it is our play don't look refined? Why it don't look rehearsed? Why it don't look proper?
So Kareem, you asking why does it look like we don't train?
That's what you're asking, right? I mean, that's the question. Why it look like we don't train nothing?
You know, the man was
Talking about, like Brentford, like every set piece they took looked so crisp, and we had like no. It's only miss they miss. Like the set pieces worked,
You
and
can see that it's actually trained.
yeah, you could
see, and like we don't train to defend set pieces. They look like I mean, but like Kareem, he said something really like, and this is why we look at Ten Hag, and we just feel a sense of sadness and dread because we know we could buy players. We've always bought players, but when we had Ollie, we said, okay, well, Ollie can't coach, so we go buy players, and he go let him go out there and do a thing. When you get somebody like Ten Hag, you expect a change. You expect to see something. You expect to see some kind of tactic or something off the training ground, but we ain't seen it. And this is what you kind of years later you look around, and you're like. And this is why I say Ten Hag needs to worry about his job. That's why you got to worry about his job, because if I'm Ratcliffe, I ain't seen anything from that team that makes me think that you doing something. Sunday, Monday through Friday, most of the weeks, because Onana makes some good saves. The defense. I mean. That defense they remind me of primary school. I don't know if Kareem my primary school, where Falk used to kick the ball around and like to prevent a goal, everybody just kind of jump, kind of come together and try and kick the ball, and a whole bunch of mess going on. Like, ain't no real coordination. It's just, oh gosh, let me get in front of the goal and make sure you ball those, the goal and score. And like, you just have to, there's no training, there's no discipline.
It's evident. It's evident in where you're watching.
And I mean, like how open that guy. I mean, that last goal. How open was he? Like I was looking for the next to see who was close. I couldn't find anybody close. I could probably say, but Mount was. He wasn't really close, but he could have at least lift the eye up and see. But like, ain't nobody figure, okay, well, the ball could get cut back. I mean, and that has to be part of training. That has to be part of film studies. I mean, all that stuff is just too bad. It's just too unprofessional to see at Manchester United.
Yeah. Let me just get some comments here. All right. Phil saying here because there's still favoritism in the team. So we're talking about why we not seeing progress, right? Phil saying here because there's still favoritism in the team. Our manager is no longer ruthless, and we have a bunch of players who used to be hungry. Now these guys are collecting 6 figures a week, and they don't seem to care anymore. All right. Kurt saying here we're not seeing progress because our manager is not willing to change. I can't believe he would have 2 assistants, and you mean to say that McLaren or the other ball can't say, yo, coach, let me mix it up or change it up. Yeah. Phil also saying here, next thing, these players want to display individual football and be the heroes so that they can be on front page the next day. The chemistry in this team is at zero. No cohesion, no communication, no leadership. Yeah. Christian saying here, people could say what? The way how the team plays is a reflection of what the manager wants.
It is!
Right? He probably doesn't have the players. He needs to play his system, but he's very stubborn because he ain't want to change his tactics. 2 years back, we had a McFred in midfield, and he wasn't we wasn't to look so bad. We never get no 31 shots and go. Yeah.
No, he's correct.
I
That's
was
what.
never a big
That's what.
fan of McFred, but I can't disagree with that.
Of course not, Dan. Let me be real. And we could defend, men could say all how, but Ten Hag not on the field, Ten Hag not on the field. But what is something we talk about nearly every week here? Team philosophy, team play. We don't have that. We don't. So clearly, what we trying to put down, I don't think I don't see no other team slow a game to the crawl like us. And listen, when we slow it down, let me use City because them is the blueprint. When City slow a game down, it's not to just go dead, it's to set up the game to start back moving faster. When we slow it down, it's because we have no ideas. None. None. We don't know. It's not a matter of game management. I realize that now.
Yeah.
It's a
It's not
gameplay or game management, you know.
Yeah, it's nothing there. We just don't know what we're doing.
We just don't know what to do
Yeah. Yeah.
because we stagnant. Manchester off the ball running is one of the poorest, if not, and I will say that because that's my team. Our off the ball movement has to be the poorest in the league.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Chef, look here, well, I don't know if it's Jesus or Jesus, right? But Alexis saying here, agree with
This is
Chef,
the
he's
next
saying we were
Jesus.
right? He's saying we were too slow in transition from defense to attack, and our defense and midfield are allowing people to get too many clear shots at goal.
Too much. Damn. Brentford had 30-something shots on goal. Who is we, boy?
But
He's
Kelly,
kind of
Yeah,
What's
boy.
the,
We
like-
the Judas, the bubbly boy, the Easter bubbly boy, Good Friday bubbly, that's me.
hell, boy.
But what's I mean, like Menu. We talk about Menu. Like I would say it's like Menu ain't a defensive maestro. Like the man can play, you might have good awareness, but you can't drop Menu in there. If you let me rephrase this. If you're not possessing the ball at a high level, you can't have Menu back there as a whole as a defensive midfielder.
By himself.
yeah, that's by himself. That ain't gonna
That's
work.
crazy.
And McTominay, we know McTominay that
Number I don't know what his name, 37. This is he should be at number 99 because he's another 9 really. McTominay is. So you get no help from McTominay, but you can't do that to Menu. He and Fred, as little as he was, Fred, that was Fred game there, run back and and do a tackle or something. But you can't have Menu try and do a job by himself with McTominay. That is madness, and that is why you have even though we get string up last year, you see it more and more because we don't have the personnel to track back like Fred did back in the day. Fred can run. That's one thing about Fred is Fred can run and get back and forth.
Yeah.
So and why we ain't replace Fred? Because last year we had Fred and Casemiro. Why we ain't replace Fred with Aaron Bat? I don't know who scout Aaron Bat to the point where we can't even play him. Who?
Yeah. We bring a player on loan for him to bench
No sense.
because he's not even an upgrade or could compete with who we have. That is crazy.
Yeah. I'm just continuing again through the comments here, fellas. Right? Kurt saying here, Wissam Tony was a terror today. By them fellas, terror. They terrorize we. Right?
Yeah.
He said every other team give their forwards a chance. Say even the bottom teams to the top teams. They feed their forwards. You see that Newcastle game today, you see how Gordon was constantly looking for Isaac. They do that for any of their Callum Wilson. Yeah, no doubt.
And listen, wait, Kurt actually make a good point. Listen, and Gordon is a terror. If Gordon want to be selfish, he could, but that is not how he does play. He does look to kill you off, to open up for one of the forwards and them to get onto the ball. He does create space to play forward.
I could still come back to the point I was making earlier. If we don't have no systems in place, Rashford and Garnacho could cross all the ball they want right? Hoyland will barely get behind at the end of nothing because I mean for Hoyland today he struggled today. You understand? So whatever Hoyland did get, he didn't make good use of it, right? So you see, it's just something about the way we just play, and I mentioned it earlier. The style we want to play doesn't match the match, and that's why it has so much confusion in the way we just attack. Because you look at how Brentford set up, they have the right profiles, they have the right partnerships that would allow them to play the type of football that they want to play. You understand? Why it is we isolating Hoyland and expecting Hoyland, right, to just get the ball, turn around, rough up two defenders, and just bust a gut and shoot at goal. Why it is we expecting Rashford to just take the ball at his foot, run past 4 and 5 players, and shoot from? Why it is we making these? Do we have these expectations of these players? You understand what I'm saying? And this is why it's so easy to mark out Rashford out of a game. This is why it's so easy to limit and minimize the kind of impact Garnacho will have in a game. You understand what I'm saying? You put two defenders on Hoyland and and say boo, you know, because the profiles do not match to get anything out of the players. Every team we play, the lowest team we play, you look at how the profiles match and how well they play. So this is what I'm saying. I going back to recruitment. Rashford, Garnacho. The dependence going back to individual brilliance. Give Rashford the ball, and let me see what Rashford could do. Give Garnacho the ball, let me see what Garnacho could do. Hoyland there, he go, fight and he go work hard and he go skating and get he foot at the end or something. Bruno go get a shot or make one best pass onto Rashford. And this is what we're doing. These are our patterns, individual moments.
Brilliant.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Kareem, you see, I mean, it's a bad.
Even Southgate see it. I mean, you see, who was it? Grealish out. Who was out? I think Miss James. Grealish was out. Saka was injured, and then man put Gordon.
Foden. Well, Gordon and Foden, yeah.
Foden.
I mean, since when Gordon,
Even Gordon ahead of Rashford now as far as starting. I mean, that's
because he's a team player.
Exactly. And you see, there is no when a player being coached. You understand? When you giving instructions in your international setup, now there's not me making any support for Southgate. You can find he's a quack. But the point is, when a player come into camp and you talking to players and you working through scenarios in the training pitch, you go realize, but wait now, like Rashford, this man,
he don't have a clue.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Christian saying here, but Chef Hoyland real raw too, he keep falling down and thing, and he wasn't holding up the ball too good. I see Brentford just launching balls up front, and Tony by himself was taking. Let me tell you the problem with let me tell you the truth here. Our defense had we start to worry about and Tony. You understand? Every time Hoyland get the ball, there's 2 and 3 defenders around him.
Yeah.
Right? But it wasn't him alone. Wissa was holding up the ball very good. So yeah, so you did make the point there. Right? Phil saying here, third thing, we have fans out there who accept and embrace this mediocrity. Fans would rather show up to games and embrace this pain. You think if Man United was a team playing in Syria or Brazil or Colombia, you think players would get away with these type of performances week in, week out? Fans would riot and cuss you in 3 different languages, then throw missiles on the pitch. Yeah, them fellas, the kind of loyalty of these fans now. Players, imagine you go put a poor performance, then come on Instagram and talk about keep our head up next time, and you get what kind of 1 trillion likes. Kurt's in here, all I get tired. Ten Hag know he throat gonna bust. All I realize since Radcliffe brought his stake into United, Ten Hag didn't mean a change, especially the remote talk about getting strip of buying and vetoing players. Whatever, yes, boy.
Yeah, know about all that. Okay.
Darian saying here, imagine Brentford almost break City record for most touches in an opposition box, 85. The record is 87. And it's always against Man United. Always. Everybody breaking records against we. Right?
And not good records.
Yeah. Phil saying here, only thing saving Ten Hag's job is the FA Cup semi-final. Should he not progress to the final, then he needs to go.
He,
I waited so long now, boy.
and I made that point in our podcast. I don't think that have any bearing unless he wins that. But to me, whatever going to happen to Ten Hag done set and just
I feel so.
the wheels just turning. Because
I feel so.
that I let me be real all here. Let me ask you all a question. Seriously now. If all here was Radcliffe for them, y'all was given Ten Hag next year? Or y'all was just or you was bringing in a new manager?
If I honest with you, boy, I are 50-50 on it. No, I'm not in full agreement with plenty of what Ten Hag doing. But to some extent I just feel for him because these are the same players, chef, that start off hot and sweaty and then fail managers in the past.
Right.
And Roy Keane put it so well. He said a leopard does not change the spots. So we'll bring in a new manager bungs. Everybody started to believe Rashford could actually play football. Everybody started to believe in Bruno. Everybody started to believe that this team, until, as Ollie said, you're ready now to take it to the next level and everybody find now you're asking too much of me. You ask me to come and train twice a day. Why it is we training so late in the night and I want to go home? And then the players start to drop their head and back to square one. So, yes, Ten Hag had to take he smoke for the nonsense he doing, but ultimately, Dread, I feel it's these players we gotta get rid of, boy, because
And the thing is,
I've
you
seen
can't
this
get rid of
happen.
all of them.
Well, this is it. This is the thing. Because I've seen what we experiencing now. I've seen it happen too many times for me to say it's just the manager. You understand what I'm saying? But the unfortunate thing is it's easier to sack a manager than fire the players.
No, but because I think we could all agree here that some of them players had to go, boy.
But
Some
you
of them
see,
had to go.
the thing about it is the players that I think need to go are the players that not going.
Yeah. Let me see, man, on 350,000 a week. What team gonna take that? What team taking them
And
contracts?
it's not only which team going and take the contract in, it's which is if we're willing to sell. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Those are the players that I believe need to leave. Let me just get some comments quick here before Simeon jump in, right? Could say here Ganacho does try or attempt at least a cross in a cross a match. And this is why I would always love Pelestri. When we had a Weghorst last season and Pelestri played, he was consistently trying to put in crosses for him. Alright, Christian saying here, I was watching MUTV the other day and they were showing United versus Real Madrid in 2013. And Giggs at 39, Borsin on midfield with Modric, Xavi Alonso and Khedira. The game only changed when Nani was wrongfully sent off. Yes, I remember this game. Even the commentator was like,
every Manchester United remember this game.
yeah.
That was such a terrible call.
Yeah, I will never forget that call. Jesus Alexis saying here our midfield was getting overrun and our first sub was a defender and the next was a winger. Make it make sense. I think the defender sub was enforced because
that was enforced.
Right?
And listen, you remember we were talking about how much games Varane played, and we were just praying for him to last. We know it had to come to an end,
And strange enough, Varane had a pretty solid game today. Varane for that first half. Varane was.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Varane was the best player in the first half.
Yeah.
I have a question. You guys think
Martinez looked okay today when he came on, looked healthy?
I find he looked shaky, to be quite honest. But I don't want to say, I don't want to jinx it. I want to just believe that was just a little rust.
I mean, I found like what's the guy's name? Kambala, what his name is? What's the other center back we have?
Kambala, yeah.
I think. I mean,
He didn't play much, but when he played, I hardly see any foot put wrong. So I really want to see
I
him.
find he could get a look in that
Yeah,
Russian players. And listen, you know, all of us is team Martinez. But I just don't like Russian players, especially players who have a history of injury. And you're
Yeah.
right. When the youth man gets to play, he does play pretty decent.
Yeah. Phil saying here, it's a 50-50 for me, and I will tell you why. The mentality of this team starts up top. The new CEO plus Daniel Ashworth and other board members need to communicate the goals and vision to the club. And Ten Hag needs to get on board or go somewhere else. The new CEO comes from Man City and he will try to replicate City's blueprint and winning mentality. All right. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, Chef. I don't know if Simeon wanted to weigh
Yeah,
in on the
yeah.
question, Chef.
It is.
I mean, I agree with you guys, but
I would say I would ask that guy from City, like, is there any manager you know right now that available that you want to bring in that you think will be great for this team? I mean, Ten Hag has shown coaching wise, he's shown very little as far as getting this team playing with some kind of system. Like, so I would ask, I'm like, I would ask if I was Ratcliffe, I would ask, what's the guys from City name again? I would ask him. I'm like, is there anybody you know that can get a team?
Barada.
Yeah, I'll ask him, right. Is there any coach right out there right now available that you think we should grab right now? If yes, get him. If no, well, we're just gonna go with Ten Hag.
For now.
For now, we ain't gonna let him buy no more players because we ain't playing that mess. We don't see what that do. Gonna get good players, good young players in at a good price, and we give one more year to see what he could do. Because when we got, like I said, when we got Ten Hag, he was the best out there. We thought he was the best out there, and unless somebody is available right now that you sure about, you know, don't make that change.
I will say this too, and just to what Simeon just said there. Our scouting
Hmm.
is also about scouting the proper manager. And I will say this. And why I say that. Spurs manager. How much of us heard about him before he came to Spurs? You understand? But you see how he has Spurs playing. So it's not necessarily the correct manager, might not always be the names we know, but if there is a manager, and as you're right, a manager out there, I'm sure there is a manager out there that would fit the profile and will fit the thinking that we want, not just the flavor of the day.
Yeah, fully agreed, fellas. Fully agreed. Um, Kristen saying here, Martinez was very shaky. He was at fault for the equalizer. Tony turned him too easy. All right. Yeah, well, Omar Barada, that's what Simon was talking about. I see the CEO who we take already. I know about Sane and Kristen. But guys, I mean, we at the end of the pod, and it is really a sad, unfortunate, worrying time for our club. I mean, we haven't seen, the progress that we were hoping to see, after last season. And even though, fellas, even though Ten Hag would have overachieved last season, which would lead to why our expectations are kind of higher. I still think if he had a normal season last season, you still want to see progress.
Yeah.
At least let me see the baby steps. Let me see certain changes. Let me see improvements in certain areas. And this is what I'm worried about Ten Hag.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody here wanted Ten Hag to work. I don't doubt that, But we're not seeing the progress that we were expecting to see after a season like last season. And because I mean, we would sit down here and we would say, well, okay, this is where we were last season. This is what we need to improve on, just to take it to the next level, or our next step in the progress. And we seeing steps backward instead of that step forward now, and that's what concerning. And again, I still deep down I still want to give Ten Hag a next season, but it will be for me men like I don't know who are talking about how to leave. Because I just feel that those particular players holding back the progress of this team.
Agreed.
Because they have so much power that even after all the gun talk Ten Hag gun talk last season, I think them players, that player power is what beating him. You know, so I'm saying it mightn't look so, but it's not somebody, I don't know if it's Chef you or Simeon said, but the Ten Hag from last season with all that gun talk, you know, we're
Dan,
not
but
seeing the
that's the
same
part about Ten Hag.
we're not
For
seeing the
me,
same man. We're not
no.
seeing the same man.
For me,
You
that's the
know?
part about Ten Hag does bother me the most. I've had to say it all the time. That is what it make me like him initially. That if you could stand up to CR, then all right, let me see what you're rocking with. But yeah, I don't know where that manager going.
It's not the same person. It's not the same person. You know? Kurt saying here, hey, it's best we draft the women team or the academy on U18s to play in the PL because what we see today we can't get any worse. By the way, the women team and the under 18s has progressed from last season, while the men has regressed. Yeah, but Christian saying here, I would give Ten Hag time though, because Klopp and Arteta take at least 4 years before they started playing good. I wouldn't say before they started playing good, Christian. I'll say before they started winning. You know?
My thing is, I keep on saying, I am all for giving time, but there has to be a vision. There has to be a philosophy, and we don't have that. That is my problem. I have absolutely no. I do not, and I do not. I will never be the one believe in firing a manager after a season. I don't believe in that. But we had to have a thinking. We can't just be headless chickens because then you could get fired.
Yeah. Could seen here, mental leave for progresses. Rashford, Martial, Maguire, Bruno. You know, Martial gone long time and the team still in the mess. So why Martial name still jumping up here earlier?
And I would even call I wouldn't even call Maguire in that sense, to be quite honest. It happened I could call before Maguire.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Maguire, but Maguire is still at least be a professional and put in his ship when he on the field most times.
Even though he ain't good enough, he still, you know.
Even though he ain't really good enough, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Javid on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying so the last 20. We didn't wait, you see the worst part of the game by Javid boy.
But you see the
Um
part that annoy me the most.
he said we didn't deserve a point from that game. How we could be so bad. I mean like relegation team bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
We were under constant pressure. How Ten Hag allowing this to happen so often? Fool's goal. Bro. Anyway, guys, let me get some closing thoughts on the wrap it. Simeon, what are you saying?
I mean,
It's kind of sad. I mean, like I think watching this team last year, going from September through um December, like you kind of figure this is where we would end up. You were just kind of hoping for a little spark, a little something, a little, more, like you said, more time on the training field. But this is at this point, it feels like it's too late. Like the season, it feels like the season done. We have the FA Cup, but where you playing? I mean, Coventry might beat us. I mean, and who you go facing finals? Like, I just feel like the season over as far as progress or expecting progress is over. And at least we see Mount score a goal. I mean, that's the only good part. That's my thoughts, man. I ain't got
that,
nothing.
that was the one positive. Blessings them. I'm vexed Nikonate.
Chef, closing thoughts?
Them stressing my ass out, though. Like my closing thoughts, stop stressing friggin' me. Stop stressing me. I have enough stress in my life. Manchester's supposed to be my de-stressor. God,
Yeah,
oh God,
boy.
I'm begging all you. Come
God.
now, man. It's time, dog. Dog, all these years are done. I come up giving Arsenal men pain, you know. Done. My Arsenal brethren them don't even give me talk again, you know. God, it's time, dog. It's time to change this. It's time to change this direction of this club
Steph,
going now,
Steph,
though.
Steph, that's why you have Chelsea friends. That's why you have
Yeah.
Chelsea friends.
And
That's why
listen,
you
them is the loudest too, eh? Thank God them is as equal amount. I can't take we losing to them this week, you know.
oh gosh, no, that can happen. We go draw. We go draw. We go draw.
Yeah, last comment going to Eric. He's saying Scott, Bruno, and Rashi are the enemies of progress for United. Well,
Don't disagree
anyway,
with that, no?
anyway, so guys, I think we've come to the end of the pod. You know, Simeon, Chef, and even those in the comments, after a rough day and a rough performance like today, to still come out and vent, we true and true, fellas. We true and true.
Yep.
So I mean, we here again on Thursday because that's what we just do. Let me hope for some kind of improvement, Let me hope at some point them fellas and them as professionals and they will want to make amends, like whatever.
Has some kind of pride.
Yeah, boy. So guys, again, have a good night and see you all on the next one. Blessings.
Bless, man.
Thank you.